Day 2 of the NCAA's March Madness men's basketball tournament is officially underway.
And if your bracket is like mine, where is it? Here it is, Elaine. I promise you, it's still relatively intact, okay? But we're the lucky ones. Day 1 was full of action and some surprising upsets. Now, it started with number 13 seed Furman Paladins beating the number 4 ranked Virginia Cavaliers, before the 15th seeded Princeton Tigers toppled the number 2nd seeded Arizona Wildcats. David Cobb is a college sports writer for CBSSports.com, and he joins us now from there in Memphis, Tennessee. Great to have you with us. Look, Princeton has this history of being a Cinderella story, but this is new territory for Furman. So how can both of these teams really, how far can they go?
Well, we've seen it each of the past 2 NCAA tournaments, a number 15 seed making it all the way to the Sweet 16, which previously was rather unprecedented. So now Princeton has a chance to make it 3 years in a row with that trend. Of course, they have to get past San Diego State on Saturday in order to make that happen. But even if Princeton flames out in the second round, still a remarkable story for the Tigers to come out of the Ivy League and take down mighty Arizona 25 years after the program's last NCAA tournament victory. So March Madness always delivers some of these storylines, and certainly Princeton and Furman are checking that Cinderella box to this point.
And David, I know you are keeping your eye on both the Indiana-Kent State and Kentucky-Providence games today. Do you expect to see some upsets, and what are you going to be watching for?
It is certainly possible. Those are 2 blue blood programs, historically proud programs, and particularly in Kentucky's case, there is a redemption element at stake. The Wildcats, like Arizona this year, they were one of those 2 seeds who got beat by a 15 seed last season. Of course, many will remember St. Peter's knocking off Kentucky. So now the Wildcats are back in the NCAA tournament seeking redemption. And there is an ironic twist to this game with Providence this evening, in that Providence's leading scorer, Bryce Hopkins, was a part of that Kentucky team last year that lost to St. Peter's, and now he's facing his former team and will be trying to send them to an early exit once again in this NCAA tournament. And then Indiana's at risk too. We can get into that, but they face a tough matchup with Kent State, a number 13 seed out of the MAC.
All right, I'll share this with you, David. I've got my UCLA Bruins taking the whole thing, all right? They'll be cutting down the net when this is all wrapped up. I've got Houston winning for the Midwest, Alabama for the South. I've got Montana for the East because I love upsets, and I've also got UCLA for the West. So who do you have going all the way, and who do you think is going to take this whole thing? And what do you think of my picks?
I love it. I love it. You are banking on a couple of teams that are dealing with injuries right now. Houston is really getting bit by the injury bug. Marcus Sasser, their leading scorer, is dealing with a groin injury. And then Jamal Shed, one of their other really good guards, is now dealing with a knee injury. But Houston is a resilient bunch. I think they could maybe pull that off. I also have Houston in my Final Four. UCLA, another team dealing with injuries. So I hope it works out for you. But this time of year, you just never know. It's a total guess. It's anyone's guess. You could have a toddler fill out a bracket, and it would be just as good as mine. And I watch college basketball all season long. But ultimately, I have Alabama winning the national title in my bracket. The Crimson Tide are a very deep team. They can play 11 players without really dropping off at all. And they have a really good mix of talented freshmen, experienced players, and then they're just so long and versatile and difficult to score against because they can block shots, they can stay in front of you. It's hard to create mismatches against Alabama. They are the team that I see holding the trophy at the end, but you just never know this time of year.
Anything can happen. David Cobb.
Right.
David, thank you so much.
Thank you, David.
Thanks.